This is going to be a little bit interactive anyway, so I hope you've got enough room to swing a stick without kind of, causing too much damage. Actually, it won't be that active. I'll just see if everyone is back.
Does your insurance cover that,
man? Insurance doesn't apply to a man with a stick in his hand, I can tell you. Sorry, oops, where did I go? Okay, anyway, we'll go with that. What is fit stick? Let me show you one thing. Can you hear that? Everybody stand up if you can. Stand up. And just move. You can sit down now. The reason I did that was because of fit stick. I think Joe knows me very well. I've been very active all my life. I have been a martial artist and a dancer. I've worked in many countries, in Taiwan and Japan in particular, Canada, America, England, Ireland, setting up all kinds of programs for people and having a good life doing that. But 2 years ago, I was at a car crash. No, the car was damaged, I guess, and I got away with a lot. I was rear-ended coming back from Dublin, and my right hip eventually started to give out. To the point after maybe 3 or 4 months, I couldn't even drive the car, and I was barely walking. It was quite painful. It was like a hot glass grinding into my hip. That was a bit of a shock to the system. I'm only 58, and I could do nothing. So then, last 2019, November, I had a full hip replacement in the South Infirmary. You couldn't go to a better place. Let me just say that, South Infirmary, amazing. So there I was after it. I was told to stay in bed or stay home for 8 weeks and don't move. So you're looking upstairs, you look at the ceiling for 3 or 4 hours at a time. And I thought to myself, Now I teach Tai Chi as well. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I've got 70 different qualifications. I have a master's in training development. I've done energy work. I'm a sports masseur. I have a huge background in wellness. So I said, well, what can I do? So once I got off the crutches, I got a walking stick. And that was quite interesting. So I started looking at that, and I started taking different exercises, mobility, balance, agility, walking techniques. And I said, okay, right, I can do something with this. And just then I got invited, thankfully, onto the Social Impact group with Eamon and Pauline and Breed and all the people there. And I went in initially because I had a martial art with the stick called Madishka. And that was quite powerful. But I said, So over the course of the months that I was with Pauline and Eamon and everyone else, I realized maybe I could do something more with rehabilitation and movement and exercise, because there's some really good people on the course. Susan Down Kerry does amazing work and with people with different health issues. So I said, okay. So I started to put together this program called Fit Stick. So what does it mean? The stick part is easy. There's a whole range of exercises, which I'll show you shortly, with the stick. You'll be surprised. Let me ask you before I go on, what exercises can you do with a stick? Be polite there now, please. What can you do with a stick? Any answers?
With a walking stick?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. An awful lot of things you can walk with it. You can use for a whole range of exercises, actually, which I'll be showing you shortly. So then I got going with that. And but then I realized something else. I've worked with Arc House Cancer Support. I've worked with Post Cardiac Support Group. I've given talks to Alzheimer's and other groups as well with health issues. And then you realize, for me, what's most important is your spirit. You can have a very healthy body, and your mind can be kind of not so good, or you could have a really good mind in your body. But again, I've done energy work, I've done all kinds of things. But you realize that your thoughts are here, but your feelings come into your body. That's an important thing to know, because there's great intelligence in your body. Your emotions, your sadness, your joy, your anger, your happiness, they're expressed in your body. So I started looking a lot of body work. And I go into the flow state. Through the Tai Chi, I know a lot about the flow state, about balance, movement, relax, softness. And there's a lot to be done with that. So I said, fit. And for me, the fit is the big part. Fit stands for fun, inspiration, transformation, and triumph. I think really might have used that word. So what I started doing was intensely working with people to kind of find out what was fun in their life, what inspired them, and then see if they could transform that into something tangible for themselves, not for the rest of the world. A lot of people are doing a lot of things to help everyone else, but maybe not helping themselves. And then you celebrate that. Now, I don't think my daughter's here at the moment. She's trying to link. I don't know if she's there yet. I'm just quick checking. Maybe she'll come on later. But she's a great inspiration because she loves baking and stuff like that. So she set up a little business for herself with cupcakes. That's great fun. It inspires her. So she's making cupcakes and she's very creative. So I'm thinking, okay, so I've got two things now. I've got a whole range of exercises with the stick, and I've got a whole range of activities for the mind. That really works for me. I can do it separately with people, or I can do it together. I'm in the process. I love working directly with people. You know, there's nothing like human contact. But of course, COVID has put all that on hold for now. And I had a couple of false starts through the year. I work for different groups. I work with the ETB actually as a community wellness tutor. And I work for the HSC as a mindfulness tutor. And I work for domestic violence. And I worked with community mediation, victim support, all kinds of things. So what I want to say about that is that I work with people in a very deep way, and I help them to get unstuck and to move and to get into the flow state. So what I'm going to do with you now, there are handouts which you will get. Now you will get these handouts tomorrow. They will be emailed to you. I won't go into any great detail. At this moment in time, can you see this? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Yeah.
That just reminds you of how big anxiety is at the moment. It can creep up in you. Anxiety is a very powerful, destructive force in your life. And you mightn't even know it's there. A lot of the work I do is tuning people into how they're actually feeling in their mind and their body. Awareness, observation. That's important. Now, this is a little handout for you on deep breathing. It's a very good system. We're going to do that now ourselves. And then there's one on progressive relaxation. This is one on toleration. The question I ask people, well, why can't you smile? Why aren't you happy? Why are you stuck? And you realize then that there's lots of things that are keeping them there. They're putting up with a lot of stuff in their life. They're tolerating stuff that they shouldn't tolerate. But they do out of habit, or maybe because they're afraid to ask any hard questions, or for a lot of reasons. So you can look at this yourself tomorrow when you're trying to figure out, well, where's my smile gone? You know, or people around you. Just what are you tolerating, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little piece of the puzzle. There's lots of things in it. Again, this is just for yourself for tomorrow, but to keep in your own mind as well. Now, I'm going to do this, which is quite a comprehensive handout on Wu Chi. That's the primary position in Qigong and Tai Chi, but also Joe would say as well in martial arts, correct, when you're doing Yoi, ready, the whole concept of non-attachment and just being with yourself. So we're going to do that with you. I'm going to get into it now. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to sit well, everyone. Posture is really important. Really, really important. Now, see all those topics? They all have a big impact on your ability to be happy with yourself and to be healthy with yourself. The first one is smiling. If you go online and you check the physiology and the benefits of just smiling, it will really amaze you. You can't be angry when you're smiling. Well, unless you're really two-faced. You can smile, but you can be very angry. Okay? So it always amazes me that people don't smile that much anymore. So I say, where's your smile gone? And if you get nothing else tonight, you can forget my name, you can forget everything. But I would ask you to bear in mind this, my catchphrase is, your smile, stick with it. Okay? Stick with your smile. Find every reason you can to smile. And remind yourself you don't need a reason to smile, actually. But be careful because you might be taken away, you know, the little guy, oh, they're smiling, what's going on with them? But smile, that's important. So sit well, sit in the chair. Now, again, I would do Zen meditation as well, but we don't do too much tonight. It's just now, sit well. Put your hand on your heart, your right hand or your left hand on your heart. Put your left hand on your tummy. Close your eyes. So all I'm going to ask you to do now is breathe in, maybe for 4 or 5 seconds. Hold for a second and then breathe out slowly. We'll do that for about a minute. But while you're doing that, I'd encourage you to put a smile on your face. Don't worry, nobody's looking. Okay, off you go. Keep your eyes closed and be aware of what you can hear, what you can touch, what you can taste. Be aware you live through your senses. So just take a moment to check in with your senses. Now check in with your body. Become aware that you can allow it to relax. In Chinese, we say Shen, inner tranquility. So become very peaceful inside and smile a little. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Now give a small stretch. Keep your eyes closed and just stretch a little. Okay, open your eyes again, come back to me. I would encourage you, again, you can talk about the science and all this, but to stop throughout today, even for a minute or 2 minutes, and just come back into yourself, settle down. Funnily enough, I happen to have this, and this, and this. What might they represent? What might they represent? What might they be? And the answer is, that could very well be your mind. Your mind could be very clear. You'd be very lucky. But if you're agitated, just stop. I think Joe was having this conversation with his students about the mind as well, about being able to settle down. Now, if your mind is cloudy, you stop. It'll take a while, but it will still settle. Sometimes your mind is full of rocks. all kinds of problems and issues, and you're like a dumping ground for everything that goes on around you, and you carry it, and you can't stop. People can be full of all kinds of stuff in their head. And sometimes you can be like that, your mind can just stuck with stuff. So my invitation to you is just to practice stopping. That's only the first part, because then you have to start using your brain and think, which is a whole other issue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get over onto some of the routines. So if you can stand up, okay, we're going to spend maybe 15 minutes, I guess, doing some of the techniques, but just make sure your camera is adjusted. Be closer. Okay, hold out your stick or whatever you have. Just make sure you've got some room. If you hear anything crashing, it will be a problem. Okay. The first thing, again, this is for initially for rehabilitation for a lot of different people. So it's about moving into your body with awareness and having your mind actually alive. And one of the tricks is to fall awake. Don't be slouching or like that. Now, keep your feet shoulder width apart, bend your knees, bring your tummy back in a little bit, have your spine come up, shoulders back and down, and your head balanced on your head. As my friend said, your head is the weight of a bowling ball, and it rests on the top of your spine, the atlas joint, size of a spoon. So when you do any kind of, sometimes you can have a back problem, and it might just be that your neck is pulling all the muscle out of place. So straighten them out. Now put the stick on the ground in front of you. I'm hoping it's a reasonably okay stick. Joe, that would be too short. Now close your eyes again. When you close your eyes, all your other senses become more activated. Now take a moment. Find your balance. Your center. Now relax the muscles you don't need. Maybe your shoulders, your hands, your face, your glutes. It's important that you allow the body to begin to move freely. If you tightness or tension, you're putting the brakes on. Keep your eyes closed, just for a moment. Find your balance now before we do anything else. Keep smiling whenever you remember to do so. Now with your eyes still closed, just sway a little. And be aware that you could easily fall off balance if you're just running around the place. So keep your center, keep your balance. Be mindful how you're moving through space. You open your eyes, take your stick, and just move freely a little. If you have space, just move. Movement, any way you want. Just joyful, just move. Anyway, okay, back to center. Now what we're going to do is, in Tai Chi there are 7 postures. Equilibrium, full, empty, open, close, and then yin yang. Yin is receiving, and yang is giving. It's a very simple yet powerful technique. If you do Tai Chi, I've been doing it for many years, you can do the same pattern for the rest of your life for 40 years. It never changes. You just do it deeper and softer every time. So it's not necessary to be doing hundreds of different things all the time. Do what you do very well and more gently, more softly. If you're sticking the garden, sweeping the floor, whatever you're doing. So we'll just do it briefly today, obviously we don't have a chance to do a whole lot. But I will demonstrate it to you. First one is hold your stick here. Now if you don't have a stick, you can still use your hands anyway, okay? Keep it gentle. It's all about softness. Now at another level, just watch. Keep your spine, so you move it with you. When you're moving, So you're not just twisting and turning all over the place. Okay? So get the stick. Now, one very powerful thing by Dr. Benson in the 60s or 70s, he discovered relaxation response. At its simplest, if you're breathing for 5 seconds and out for 5 seconds, it's like putting the brake on. Instead of having the adrenaline piped and running around the place, putting the accelerator on, you slow down. If you do that even for 1 minute, you can switch your internal chemistry. So what we're going to do here now, we're just going to do 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. Now again, this is just a taste of it. We're not going to do anything spectacular. It's very simple. So first of all, breathe in and down. One more time, up. Have a sense of filling up. You're filling up, you're full of energy. Now you're using that energy. You can't just keep it and not use it. So now you're like a battery, and sometimes you're stuck with no energy left, so you fill back up again. Qigong is a very powerful way of doing this. I can do that with too small now. Now the next set is open and close. I find this very important. So put your hands here like this. Now open out. Hold there a moment. Now you're very strong here. Push your hands back a little more, a little more. Now you can go off balance, yes? In Tai Chi, or in karate as well, I just showed it as well for years. We stop. When you reach your limit, come back. Retire when your work is done. Go this far, now come back in and rest. We'll do it twice. Breathe out. Breathe in. Keep smiling. And expand your body. Even energetically, have a sense that you're expanding out into the world. Now come home and rest. Breathe out again. Now if you bend a little bit as well, you're also straightening your leg muscles. Open out, big smile, and be ready to face life. This doesn't look much, but if you can go out into the world and say, here I am, I'm ready, woohoo, here we go, that takes a lot of courage for some people. Okay? So body postures are very important. And come back to it. The next final two, the yin yang. You all probably heard of yin yang. They're opposing forces. Put your left leg forward, right leg behind. Now, if I was doing it like this, so my right leg's behind, I'm receiving, and I'm giving. Receiving, and giving. Now change legs, bring your right leg forward, left leg behind. Proprioception and knowing where you are in space and time is very important to your body. Pulling back, breathing in, expand your lungs, and gently forward. Back. And back. At its simplest, what I do with people, and we got these made up as well. Hey, PT vests. So we won't lose you outside the woods. Once we have the green light again, I'll take groups of people out into nature, into the woods, by the river, if preferable. And you go along, we do a walking program, then we stop, we do our meditation, our mindfulness, and we just feel really good. And then we can do some exercises as well. Then we can do some mindful walking, which I'll show you in about 5 minutes' time. So I'm a great believer in bringing as much as you can into one activity. For example, you can just stand here like this. Your mind can be ever, and your body can be. But if you stand here in that Uchi position, allow me to go soft, the benefits of relaxation are very important for your body. And then you can smile. I train in forest school leadership. We learn to take young kids out into the woods and forests and let them do all kinds of activities. And we let them find their sit spot. So I would encourage any one of you who already do it anyway, maybe, go out into nature and find a place that is your sit spot, where you can just sit or stand and feel alive. You could do so many things which your mind might just be stuck or wandering all over the place. Don't squander the moments that you have in nature. What I'm going to show you is the balance. Very simple one. So, this gets funny. Put the weight on your right leg. Now, this is like Mr. Miyagi. Oh, woo. Okay, so just stand on one leg. If you can, in physiotherapy, they give you a wobble board. This is not a wobble board, but it's similar. So, if you can stand on one leg for even 2 minutes, all the muscles have to work by your feet, and your brain has to work really hard in the nervous system to balance you. Okay. Now hold the stick here. Now a bit higher. Now if I ask you to close your eyes, you really find, oops, you won't do that today. Now in Tai Chi or in movement, just put the left leg over on the ground. Don't step. Movement is not what we think it is. It's more of a flowing. Okay, just put the push left and flow over onto the left with the right leg up. Now this time put your stick on the ground and close your eyes for 10 seconds. Bang. Who fell? Okay, right. Okay, that's that. Now there's also components of strength and fitness that you can use with this stick. We won't do it tonight because I have a chance to do a health screening on you. I think it's very important. You know, I'd hate to see anybody just drop on the floor. Oops, where they gone? Okay, so just be mindful if you have any health issues that you're not going to be pushing yourself where you should go. So we're going to keep this really simple. LME, local muscle endurance work, circuit training, etc. But just right now, hold your stick up and just come up in your calf muscles. 5 seconds. And down. Up again. And down. Now the next one, again, just don't even do this. Just imagine you're doing it. Just stick it around and just squat down a little bit. Very safe. Down. Osteoporosis is an issue for a lot of people. And the thigh muscle can waste away very fast if you don't use it. Any kind of squat is really good for your body. But even just doing something simple like this. Again, these things you can do when you're outside walking. You know, just be careful. People might think they're strange. Now there's other activities which I won't do tonight. There's sit-ups and etc. like that. Now, just the thing about the walking itself. When you walk, a lot of people don't really walk very well. Because they're talking, they're on the phone, they're looking at their friend. Again, I've worked in physical therapy and I've worked with the body. And I've seen the damage that can be done by bad posture, bad alignment. So if you're kind of walking like that, no. Just for now, when we walk, you can walk in silence. That's important. And when you breathe, don't be, no, don't talk. Remember, if you want to get a good fit walk, that you hold your stick here. I don't know what kind of stick you have. Keep it balanced and just walk. Just for now, just move your arms. Keep it nice and balanced. I want your body to free itself up. And smile again. Now just walk, march with your legs. Now even if you couldn't go outside, and just do this for 5 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes of any kind of activity at home is good. And stop. Now in a walking program, you're going to walk like long strides, imbalanced movement. Okay, so that's all I'll say about that. Now to show you one other thing before we I'll do one more. Mindful walking is something else you can do. It's a very simple thing to do, but it can take a lot just to set your mind. Again, if you can do this out in nature, in the woods, or someplace very quiet, it's a beautiful thing to do. So for now, very simple. Hold your stick here. Now, I don't think you can see my feet here. That's the problem with this at the moment. We'll try. Now, you can do this. Remember, the key point here is to get your body back to its natural state of being. People talk about, oh my God, mindfulness has become a big thing, but they make it sound so complicated or all these issues. They're not. Keep it really at its essence. In this case, it's just simply walking slowly and staying with your breath. And if your mind wanders off somewhere, just gently bring it back. Okay? Living in the now actually is impossible according to the research. Because your brain is designed to keep you alive. So it's always scanning for threats, no matter what that is. So your brain cannot exist completely blank now. Can't do that. So don't beat yourself up. But just be present. That's a different thing. So this time, raise up the stick. Now, don't step forward. Just put your foot forward, touch the ground, and down. Breathe in. Okay. Now, there's lots of exercises you can do with it, but given the fact that time is against us, we're going to finish up with the last one. Many years ago, I used to do aerobics. I was teaching aerobics. Oh my God, I think yeah, long time ago. Who remembers Jane Fonda? Come on, go for the burn, guys. Yeah. I probably one of the first aerobics people in Cork, actually. At the dance studio from Limerick. That's be down Ashton and Cargill Line. Do all this. 1 and 2. You know, and then with disco dancing up in Glashy with Ronan Coulter, while I was doing martial arts. So that was kind of funny. I learned to do, you know, the finger poke and the self-defense move at the same time. So with fits, you can go for something that's very simple. I've worked with post-cardiac support group and there's people on wheelchairs and they can't move very little. So we put on some music, sometimes Joe Dolan, or we have a sing-along or a song or whatever, or no crack with Joe, and then you're moving. Okay, so or else you can go all the way up to a full on, which I'll be doing later on. I have a full on aerobics class with the stick. It's pretty intense, it's high intensity as well. So it's graduated. But for now, let's just practice some moves because then we're going to do the kitchen dance. So for example, keep your stick here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 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 this time step forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that was just a quick little taster. So I'm just going to put on a song here now. You don't have to be an athlete. It's about joyful movement, really. That's what's important to me. You know, nobody's going to go for the Olympics here, hopefully, or maybe, who knows. But just for most people, there's a triangle at the base where people just want to be functionally fit for their life. And then you go all the way up where you're supreme athletes. Most of us just want to be active. Get up, get out, okay? So I'm going to put on a song. One of the basic things you can do is the kitchen dance. I call it the fun dance. Put on a song for 2 or 3 minutes and just dance. And just move to it, okay? You might look silly and stupid, but God, you're having fun, okay? I think that's important. There's over 600 muscles in the body. And when you're a child, my God, you're using all of them. I think it's not about breathing today, about crawling on the floor and everything. But as you get older, you become very narrow. You just kind of walk like this, you look like a robot. So all the muscles that you have, they waste away. And like once you get to about 40, the muscles, there's natural atrophy in the body. So you will start losing health and fitness if you don't do something. And there's a lot of health issues around that. I'm going to put on that song, Bake a Cake. Who remembers that song? Eamon? I'm sure you do. Okay? If I knew you were coming, I would bake a cake. And just for 1 minute, just have some fun. Okay, this is what I'm inviting you to do. It can be strange for some people. Some people embrace it, and some people go, huh? And that's okay too. We're going to put it on now. Okay. Hey. I love technology. Here we go. Ready? I'm not going to look. I know I really want to look. I'm going to put on for about 1 minute. And just dance away any way you want. moment to find the song. I could sing, I suppose. That wouldn't be right. I couldn't do that to you.
Well, look who's here. I haven't seen you in
Okay, I'm not looking. Just 1 minute. Move.
I haven't you for something I think. Hey, you for something I think. Hey, you and you got me a letter and I bang, bang, bang. Then the letter and you got me a letter and I bang. Said nothing back for you.
Woo!
I don't know where you came from, 'cause I don't.
Okay, that's enough. Any more than that, you might just go crazy. One of the concepts is that you always come back to stillness. Okay? I do a lot of different programs for people. One's called moving stillness. So come back home. Sometimes I would put a hula hoop on the ground and I would say, look, come in here and meet yourself. Stand here. But people are so busy following this, they'll jump you all over the place. So one of the greatest people you'll ever meet is yourself. So let's take a moment to come back to the start. I always start and finish like this. Feet. I heard it back. Okay. Close your eyes. Breathing in slowly. No. Quiet. Okay, you can open your eyes again.